Good morning, folks. It's 8:33 a.m. Central Standard Time on March 27th, 2022. Hope our creators are keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms so we can let people know what's going on out with our solar weather. And subscribe if you're new. Welcome to the channel. We're going to start off today at spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov, and as we can see in the last 3 days, all we've had is just a C flare this afternoon. Well, this is all UTC time. So this is right around 11:10 UTC time, and then we had another one yesterday, right around 15:30 UTC time. So just a couple of C flares. Now we did have an M flare back on the 25th, around 5:20 a.m., 5:20 to 5:26 a.m. UTC time, and some of that is coming towards us. It's just a little flinch, nothing major to worry about. So, and actually, if we come on over here and we go to spaceweatherlive.com. we'll actually see that we have a KP index of 5. They're estimating for a KP index of 5 for a maximum today. And if you come up here and you kind of run your cursor over this, it'll show minor storm G1. So not too much. Might get some Aurora out of it. Shouldn't be too big a deal. It's actually looking like some of the solar winds from our coronal hole is actually starting to arrive. And it's looking like that's why this is going up our hemispheric power. This right here is the energy from the sun. So solar winds, radiation, plasma, that kind of stuff, electricity, basically, if you will. We're looking at 40 gigawatts here, and that is a lot, by the way. 35 gigawatts. So, yeah, we should actually go take a look at our pressure and see what our pressure is doing. Well, folks, I would think it's safe to say that our solar winds have definitely arrived, and it could even be possible that CME, that M-class flare that popped off the CME, actually could have arrived as well. We do have now this is running backwards, of course. This is our provided to us from the University of Michigan. This right here is our geomagnetic cut plains pressure. It's the pressure on the face of the Earth. This right here is the daytime side. This is the nighttime side. This is our bow shock, and then of course this right here would be our back pressure. And our bow is doing just fine. You can actually, it's kind of interesting. It's really neat. You can see our magnetic field, or shields, if you will, and you can see that they're actually doing just fine. Even though, yes, it's red, which means the pressure is high, you can see that our magnetic field is just bouncing back just fine. It's not having any issues. Yes, the red means that there's a lot, but I've actually seen this where it's just bent way back here like this. It's not a wide angled impact. I've seen it where it's like really tight. So yeah, we're doing pretty good in my opinion. Now this here is actually our velocity, folks, and I'm going to take a little guess and say that I believe it has arrived. Looks like we got some time of freezing, but you see how there's darker red. When you look up here at our scales, it shows it closer to 600 and beyond. So I would say that not only is that our solar winds, but I think that our coronal mass ejection has actually arrived, the plasma from that filament release. So yeah, I think that might be about as high as we are. We just got to wait for that KP index to go up to really verify it, but I think that's where we're at. So we jump over here to SDO, Solar Dynamic Observatory. We're going to look at our sun through 94 angstroms of light, and we're going to see where we possibly had these flares coming from. Our most recent C flare. Our M flare came from this guy right here earlier, but it doesn't show that. Now, we did have our one C flare. There's one of them. We had a couple little snap, crackles, and pops. I think our other one came from here too. Yep, there it is. Right there. So, yep, both of them came from here. Not really going to be any plasma coming around at us. However, the one thing we do have to keep an eye out for is that this is an active sunspot region. It's flaring, and it's coming around the mountain when she comes. Yeehaw. So, yeah, we'll have this to be dealing with. Not to mention, we still got to keep our eyes out in this area. And really, just because, this section here gave us an M flare. So even though it doesn't look like it's much of anything, you never know when it's going to happen, folks. Okay, now remember, as we're watching here, this is our solar flare activity. This was the upper C. Actually, this is the M from the other day. Then we had two C's, right? Well, look at the baseline. Notice how the baseline is here in the upper B's, and it's just kind of slowly working its way up. Well, as it's working its way up, the higher we go is for a baseline, the more likely we are to get up into big M's and into X class. So the baseline is important to watch. That means there's a lot of activity that's on the Earth facing side. We could definitely have some X flares. You know, as the more it comes up, the closer to the X it gets. So something to watch out for. And as we're over here looking at LASCO C2 and C3, I'm going to give you guys a little peeky weeky here at a few things. LASCO C2 actually has got a little bit of activity going on, and it's actually froze up a little bit on us. And there's, of course, we got some friends all over the place. You know, here's a little friend right here. For those of you who might be new, here, let me do that for you. You can see the friend right there. Okay. So as we're going through, I want you to watch the Borg cube bend light. Now watch this ray here and this ray here. Watch this. You're going to see it bend all of a sudden. It's going to go, what in the world? Keep watching it. Notice that? See how it does that? Yeah, there's a Borg cube right here. You can see the line right here, but if you follow it up, it kind of comes over here and then goes up. Right here on the bottom side of this is a Borg cube, and he's bending the light. Okay? Notice how nothing on this side changes, but things on this side do change? Because he's bending the light from here over. Now this is directional. They can change the direction on it. Okay? How they can project it any way that they want to. So I'll actually show you another example of that. This right here is a flare that was going off the back side, but notice how it just kind of stops right at 36. But yet my thing down here just keeps on moving, but it's not moving. They've got it froze up, and then it jumps all the way to 4 o'clock. Wait a minute here. What's going on here? You guys notice that? And then to 4:30, and then to 6. Yeah, they're totally messing with it. So we're gonna come over here and take a look at LASCO C3. And as we're going along, oh, here's a nice little friend right here. How you doing, buddy? There's another one right here, a little guy here. Now this right here is Venus. Venus is doing its normal orbit. You'll see it rotating around, so nothing to panic about. This is just Venus. But one thing we can look at is we can look at a large Tic Tac, another one. These are the ones that I like to get onto sometimes. This right here is the head of a bird, and these are the wings, and this is the tail. Now this one is actually in the middle of moving. It is going this way, not this way. And yes, I know this. I've got some of my other videos. I do show it quite a bit, but here you can clearly see a top and a bottom, and then you can see like almost like a disc where the line goes this way. And then you've got your Tic Tacs. For those of you who are new, welcome to the show, so to speak, because yeah, we're seeing some stuff going on up in space. Oh look, here's another one. There you go. There's the wings, the tail, and the head, and you can see his little trail of la 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 coming out from behind him. Alright. Now this, you see this, how this little light, how it gets really light right here? The light signature trail, or warp signature trail, if you will. Oh, here we go. Here's the Borg cube. You can see how it comes down, and then over like this. It's always right here. So we've got our Borg cube, and he's bending light. You can see where the light's bending. The whole thing freezes up. They're really good at it. And if you go through here slow enough, you can actually see here's another one right here. He's actually taking off. He was just taking off, so yeah, that's another one. I've been seeing these for, oh my gosh, years now. Oh, look at this. This Borg cube got excited. He must have really done something funky with that, huh? And actually, he did something over here too. Look at that. It's kind of funky, isn't it? Now notice Venus over here. I'm going to kind of run it backwards. See how it rotates? That's just the light reflecting off of it from the sun shining on it. So you can see it kind of rotating on its axis. It has its own orbit, all that stuff. Here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Right here. Here's the head. Here's the tail, and his little la 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 coming out behind him. And I call it that, but I really don't know what. Some kind of a signature. It's definitely funny looking. Now this right here is this white disc. This little white circle is the size of the sun. Okay, this blue disc here is called an occulter disc, and this is the arm that holds it from the edge of the camera lens over in front of the camera lens. Okay, this one, because it's so close you can't really see it, and I don't even know which direction it is, but the white circle is the size of the sun, and then this is the occulter disk. Alright, folks? And it's looking like our Schumann has calmed back down from yesterday. Yesterday was a very active day. Didn't I do something yesterday about, wasn't yesterday a Q day? And look at the Schumann. And yesterday, if you add all the numbers up, 3 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 17. Very interesting, wouldn't you say? Now that was our Russian model over disclosure for our Schumann. This is our Italian model here in Cumiana, right here in Italy. This is where it's at, pretty close to CERN. Alright. Now as we look here, this is our electromagnetic field. Looks like everything seems to be doing pretty well up in the atmosphere. Not exactly sure where this thing all of a sudden just started coming into play, but this was never here before, but it's definitely here now. Almost like there's a field that's keeping us down here or something. But anyways, along the ground level, got a little bit of activity going on. This right here is the actual Schumann. Looks like our geophones are just going off the charts here. Well, not off the charts on the geophone, but it's definitely going off. And all we're seeing is a little bit of here. So I think with them consistently screwing with the settings, it's making it look like it's not such a major ordeal, even though something is happening. We're not really able to get a good clear picture of it, and we know that Italy's been doing that for quite a while. Them little stinkers. Oh well. This is our current moon phase. March 27th, we're looking at a waning crescent illumination of 25%. We've got a couple of new little tools in the toolbox. One of them is moongiant.com. That's this one here. And we can actually, you can come here and you can check out today's moon phase. You can look at the whole calendar. You can even see if you were born on a full moon. You can see what the moon phase was on the day you were born. It's actually kind of a neat little website. Little things to check out. Got all kinds of interesting facts and stuff about the moon. So if you're a moon follower, come on over to Moon Giant and check it out. Got another little nice little tool, Solar Ham. Still getting to learn this one. This one sometimes it's kind of annoying because it actually goes on, but it's nice. It's just something to get used to. It's going on real time, real UTC time. So like if I'm over here and I'm looking at something, like if I'm like scrolling down, I'm like, oh, I want to check out, let's say, oh, I want to look at this, and I go to tap on it. And then it'll want to update because it updates every so often. It'll all of a sudden go blank, and then I have to wait for it to update. So it really updates in real time. So this is a very good one that I'll be utilizing in the future. And as we come over here, this right here, we can see this is our coronal mass ejection from that M flare that came off of this side of the sun. And we are going to get a teeny bit of it. Looks like between the 27th and 28th. There's a few different models, and they're kind of forecasting different times just because it's kind of hard to judge it, to be honest with you. But the way that this one was, because the flare is actually coming in with the solar winds from the coronal hole, so it definitely will affect the speed. Alright, I'm going to use this here with you guys today. Here at Solar Ham, as we're looking over here at the 3-day Geomagnetic Aurora forecast, we can actually see that here we're at KP index, we're at 3, and then it comes down to 2, then up to 4, and then up here to 5. Okay, this is the level of 5, 1 through 5. Now, if you look, this is the time, 0 to 600, 6 to 12, 12 to 1800, 1800 to 2400, so around midnight. So that's when we're going to be expecting the highest. 1800 being 6 p.m. UTC time to midnight UTC time is when they're expecting the 5. Okay, and this is where we get to storm level. And then it just kind of comes back down, and we should be fine after that. All right, folks? So remember, keep your eyes open, no fear, and love is the only way forward.